Welcome back to another episode of the How To Home Podcast. My name is Aaron Massey. Joining me is Tracy Pendergast, as always. And today on the show, we've got friends of the show, comedian couple, power couple, the Beyonce and Jay-Z of Instagram.
He's the Beyonce.
Oh, he's the Beyonce. We've got Steve Greene and Nikki Limo Greene joining us today.
Hi. Thanks for having us.
So much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
So the reason why I wanted to bring you in addition to being longtime friends of mine, is you guys have gone through the ringer to get your first home.
We just got a home.
Well, we didn't just, we're coming up on a year.
It's been a year already.
It's been, we put the offer in on April 4th of 2018. I remember because I didn't think we were going to do it. And then we closed on April 26th, 2018. So it was a really short close, short escrow period. And, but leading up to that, it was about a 2-year search for a condo. Well, it ended up being a condo. We were originally looking at houses, and then that was like impossible to find with the amount of rooms that we wanted and bathrooms that we wanted in the area that we wanted and all the specifics like that. So then we were like, okay, a condo, even though we hate HOA fees, but
oh, I hate HOA fees, man. Oh my God. And we went to an HOA meeting because they were raising our rate. And I went in there and I was like, hell no, we won't pay. Hell no, we won't pay. But then they were like, hey, we actually have really good reasons because they're like the roof is damaged and it's like pretty bad shape and like there's been a lot of rain. And we're like,
we
we're very sorry.
You won't be able to resell your condo if we don't fix the roof.
Yeah,
we're like, oh, okay, we should.
Yeah.
You're there to tell us that.
We're like, we should raise it. We're sorry.
Yeah.
But the whole neighborhood came. It was dope. It was like we were going to do something.
They were like, this is the first time we've ever seen any homeowners at the homeowners.
It was like Mr. Smith Goes to Washington and they were all like, this just isn't right. Like, it was great.
I love it.
Well, we're going to dive into all the things that you guys have learned in your first year of homeownership and all the headaches that go along with it. We talk about that on the show a lot, that people don't
misery
realize.
Loves company.
That's
yeah.
It's nice to join and to welcome people into the club, you know, who can now feel the pain.
Yep.
But
well, I don't own desert property like you, my man. I mean, friggin' highest like location in the desert on the hottest slab of granite possible.
Yeah, well,
with a horse.
You live and learn.
Yeah, right.
Hey, live and learn, man. You know what?
The horse is sweating.
Clearly.
Actually, we were just talking about composting too, and his main issue was he couldn't keep it
moist
wet enough.
Yeah, can't keep it wet enough. It's too hot.
There's a lot of men's issues.
All right, before we dive into this whole thing, because we're just going to go off crazy, I want to say quick thank you to our founding sponsor of the How To Home Podcast, which is Filter By. Filter By is an HVAC filter provider, which you guys
should get on.
Should get on it, because I think last time I was there, I talked to you guys about replacing your air filters in your air conditioning.
It was a very professional conversation.
And you need to do that.
We
you need to sign up for that and make sure that you're changing those air filters out. Add it to the list.
It's a subscription service.
That's right.
So you don't have to remember. You set it and
forget it.
Dude, this is like it was in my home, only Aaron was talking to me and I was like, am I in a podcast ad in my home?
You were.
I was.
We used that.
I don't even think I wasn't even a subscriber to Filter By at that time.
Yeah.
I was just telling you that it was
starting,
true. But it's so much more convenient when they just ship them to your door and you don't even think about it.
I don't think we've done it for like a year since we moved in.
That's true.
Asking for problems.
Get on it.
But you know, it's just like when I take my car in and they're like, you got to replace these filters. I'm like, I'm on to you, man. I'm not doing the extras, man.
Then you put off.
And they're like, it's black. It's very black. And I'm like, yeah, whatever, dude.
I think I could get 4 or 5 more miles out of this.
That's me. That's me to the T.
I recommend it. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. I heard you out.
Because otherwise you're gonna blow out your AC units and stuff in the
summertime. We just blew out our heating unit.
Don't talk about it.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh,
man.
See?
Yeah.
That's why.
That's for sure.
Because it can't breathe. If it can't breathe, it can't work right.
Well, I wish you would have told me about this earlier.
I did tell you about it.
I know that's true, you did.
We have it on film.
Also, make sure you follow us on social media and interact with the show. Suggest some topics and some guests that you'd like to see on the show at howtohome_guide on Instagram. And make sure you subscribe to our email list as well on our website, howtohome.com.
Yep, that's it.
I know you guys did a hilarious series about trying to find your home, which I loved.
It's called Kanohanas.
Yeah.
Because of legal reasons, we couldn't call it
House Hunters.
Yeah.
Plus,
turns out there's a show called that.
Yeah. We did like almost like a parody of that show.
Which was brilliant. I thought it was hilarious.
Thank you. We were obsessed with watching that show.
I loved it. I would watch that show on television.
I'd watch it right now.
Let's watch it.
Let's watch it instead.
Yeah, I think we watched every single episode already.
We did, yeah.
We like wore
We were
it
like,
out.
now we've seen this one.
Well,
now
because we
we've
were
seen
like,
it.
since we can't find our own home, let's watch other people find a home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just
We're
like live
mid-century
vicariously.
modern and Cape Cod. Oh, we saw that one.
Yeah.
We saw it twice. Once you're 30, man, you just all of a sudden something unlocks in your brain. You're like, I love all this stuff. I don't know what
Yeah.
happened to me.
Yeah, you have a bunch of plants around your house now.
I used to sit there while my mom was watching this stuff with my mouth open, like so bored.
Yeah.
And now I just love it.
Life crushes you to a degree that you're like, those little things are like, yes.
Yeah.
I love it now.
My husband and I are deep into Naked and Afraid.
Oh.
And
I
I
love
think it's
Naked and
because we
Afraid.
feel like survivalists in our own life. So we like kind of, we're
Relate.
like, yeah, we could do that.
I just
mean,
like watching sad people get really scared.
while naked.
Yeah, and they're getting bit by bugs and shit. It's
Yeah.
like amazing.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Good.
That's
That's
hilarious.
the best.
So you guys have a podcast called
They don't tell you.
Yes.
Yes. And we
I
talk
thought
about
a great topic for today would be they don't tell you in regards to
buying
finding
a
home
house.
and buying a home.
So much they
Yeah,
don't
we've
tell you.
had lots of experts on the show and they provide great information, but it's always nice to hear
Yeah.
from people that have actually
We're not
been
experts.
through
We're not
it.
experts at literally anything.
And nobody told us how to buy a house.
No.
Nobody. Not one
They still
time
won't.
did a person sit us down and go, this is exactly how you buy a house. And
Right.
so I felt like, yeah, I just had to figure it out on my own, which took like probably longer than it would have taken if I
If there
had
was a
already knew.
podcast that
Yeah,
had
no.
existed that talked about it beforehand that I could have
Exactly.
listened to, you know what I
True.
mean? See
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Thank you. And I'm
had-
sure a simple Google search could have done it, but I wanted someone to tell me.
Plus the fear of like, now I have a mortgage payment
Yeah,
is like very
it's
interesting.
debilitating. That fear is such a big hurdle,
And
especially
I-
in like an expensive housing market, and you come from a different market, and you're like, that's so
Yeah.
much money. I never heard of that.
Oh,
figure.
yeah. So I've always lived in Southern California.
Yeah.
So I was very used to what it would be, but it still is a huge jump from renting to buying.
I find that a mortgage payment has stifled my creativity a little bit because I'm not even kidding, I had just gotten through telling my lawyer that I only wanted to be paid for projects now in Air Jordans. And I was like, listen, just figure it out. I just only want to be paid in Air Jordans. And because I just think that that's so
Hilarious.
great. That I look like a guy who like has a houseboat. Like what business do I have getting paid in Air Jordans? But I was like, I'll figure it out. I'll have a closet full of Air Jordans or whatever, and I'll just sell them on eBay one at a time as I need cash. And then I'm not even kidding. We had to get we got a mortgage payment like within 3 months of that. And I'm like,
Yeah.
well, I can't do that anymore.
That's so
That's
sad.
stressful when you're
stifled it.
freelance too.
Yeah, basically don't get a home. What the like,
Yeah.
That's everyone here is like, yeah, it sucks.
It doesn't
Everything
suck.
sucks.
It just has. I mean, it has its draw.
No.
I mean, it has its
It's
pros
work.
and its cons. We talked about it in a previous episode about how your lifestyle has to change
Yeah.
and what. But you don't really know. Like you don't get it until you've gotten into
Yeah.
it. You know.
I don't know. I dreamt about having a place like for so long that I still wake up and I'm like, I'm so thankful that we're here.
Right, exactly.
I'm
So it's
into
such a
the place
weird-
that we live.
It's such a weird feeling that
Yeah.
you get that you are like, this is mine. I love this. This
Yeah.
is so cool. And at the same time, it's like, this is awful. Why did I do this? Like you have both at the
Yeah.
same.
Well, it's like-
sometimes simultaneously.
It's
When
like,
the
this is
property
my
taxes come in, yeah. Oh yeah. I'm like, what the hell is this?
dude, when it's like, this is mine, it feels so good. Like when I go down the stairs in the morning, I'm like, this is mine, it feels so good. But then when guys are carrying a couch up the stairs and they take out a chunk of your wall, you're
yeah.
like, this is mine. What? This sucks.
Yeah.
Because back when you're a renter, it was so awesome. You're just like, hey, so this happened like earlier today. Why isn't it already fixed? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like,
Yes. And when you build stuff yourself and it gets messed up. it
Yeah.
is-
And it like just things that used to be covered by property management, like when you're renting, aren't covered. Like our garbage disposal broke. And I was like, oh, I guess we have to replace that. What, maybe $200? It would freeze up and I would do the thing. And like we had to do that at our old apartment. So I was very like, aware of that.
You did a deep dive. You
Yeah,
did your
yeah.
you did your due diligence
And then
on
it
it.
just is like, hey, and usually this works, but it's not working anymore with us. And my garbage
poor buddy
disposal.
tuckered out. He
And then
tuckered out,
He
man.
tuckered
Yeah.
out. He's like, it's my time to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
You
oh,
had to say
I'm
goodbye.
saying
Enough
so.
garbage.
And so
he actually crawled away and then died, so we wouldn't have to deal with
That's
it.
nice.
Yeah, I think
you know,
that was
that's a nice move.
Did he unplug himself first? Or?
Yeah, he did.
yeah.
Okay.
And then we're like, oh, it's just gone.
It's
I
gone.
guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guess we got to
Didn't
put a new
have
one
to
in
do
there.
that.
So you went to the shelter and adopted
Got a new one.
did.
Adopt a new one. Adopt, don't shop.
They have a lot of dignity, those things.
We also our dryer wouldn't work for the first few months that we were living there. It would just not dry the clothes. Like it would turn on and everything, just wouldn't dry the clothes. And Steve was convinced because he doesn't know how to like properly Google things.
Yes.
So he was convinced that it was junk.
scammed.
It was that we got scammed by the previous owners who
I
were
jump
so nice
immediately
that they
to, we're
left
getting
their
freaking
appliances.
scammed. I know we're getting scammed.
He was like, we just gotta buy a new dryer. We're scammed. They
was like,
left their junk in here and all this stuff.
I was
And
like, yes, Yeah, they knew that we wouldn't check the dryer because who checks the dryer before you buy a house? Nobody.
I did one Google search and it was like, oh, the vents probably need to be cleaned. So we got a guy.
That's the thing you have to do regularly.
Yeah, well, we didn't. No one did it.
They don't tell you that.
The previous
They don't
owners,
tell you. Yeah.
They don't tell you that. The previous owners didn't do it. There was a whole bird's nest in the vent, and there's no filter on the top. That goes into our
roof?
house. Yeah, the roof.
Which the HOA should have taken care of.
Right. There's no
And
screen
we raised
or
it
anything.
at the annual meeting. Thank you.
We did. We told them. We
I
were
would
like,
love to
there
see
should.
you guys at the HOA meeting.
It was very fun. I dressed like a judge.
It was just us getting like slammed the whole
Old
time.
timey, like
Powder wig, all the whole thing.
We would bring up what we thought was a really good point, and then they would just slam it down, and we're like, "Oh, we didn't know that."
Yeah,
That's true.
It was great. It was like a
Really true.
debate against like a master, and
Yeah.
we were just getting wrecked at every angle.
Yeah, they're
But
just
now
like,
you come back
if you
armed
read
next time.
Article 17.7321 of your bylaws, it's all written there clearly.
Pretty much the whole
Well,
time.
basically,
Okay, gotcha.
also we don't have earthquake insurance, and like it would
okay.
only cost $20 more a month to have earthquake insurance, and none of the other tenants want to raise it another $20. And I'm like,
So
we should get earthquake insurance.
There's a lot of research there, though, that, I mean, we're not going to dive too much into that. That might be a different topic, but earthquake insurance is good and it's bad. It has its drawbacks because at a certain level of damage, FEMA gets involved, which sometimes it can be cost prohibitive to have earthquake insurance.
So you're
Anyway,
telling me it's a
thing.
scam?
So we
I
don't-
knew it.
Not necessarily.
I knew
It's
it.
not
Now you set
necessarily a
them off.
I
scam.
Now
told
set 'em
you.
off.
I told you.
It's not necessarily a scam, but it is not required in all cases.
Very dope to know. Thank you, Aaron.
You're welcome.
I will
So-
be taking that and running with it.
Get into the HOA meeting next time and just say, this is a scam.
Damn, it's a con job.
Oh, wait, but you're the one who,
Oh, but we're not. Yeah, we're
you're
not.
the one who's
Well,
actually.
I was like, oh, we should get this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because
So you
our-
say that, and then you say it's a scam, it's
Always.
a wash,
But
and we're
I
good.
will
Always.
cancel our personal earthquake insurance because it's pretty much pointless because basically if the whole building
Right, falls down around
and
it,
then-
you're screwed.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
it's like I can't resell my condo because ours is like fine.
Well, you might have a lot of property then. You might have a big lot
There you
because there's
go.
no other buildings, no
Yeah.
other units attached
Look
to
at
it.
my
Breeze come
backyard
right
in LA.
So what was the home buying
Yeah.
process like?
Let's get into that.
Yeah, I want to know how you arrived where you are now in these HOH meetings.
So really dumbly, because I was like, oh, we'll just go to open houses and then we find one we like, we'll just buy it. That's what I thought the process was. That's what it should be, okay?
That's right.
Like you go to an open house, you're like, this one, wrap it up, and you
Box
like,
it up.
and then you pay for it. But that's not what it's like at all. So you should definitely get pre-approved on a loan before you go to open houses.
Oh, you
Some
forgot
places-
that part, huh?
Well,
Yeah.
I didn't know about that part
No, your
because
budget.
nobody told us.
Nobody told you.
Yeah.
Some places basically walk you out the door if you haven't been pre-approved. Hey, well, we're very serious, and they're like, shoving you out the front door.
Well, they're just like, oh, an offer? Are you pre-approved? No. Oh.
Oh, you're a joke then. Mm-hmm.
The other
Are you here for the free mints? Yes,
The other
the
thing
best.
is that we had a certain down payment that I thought we had saved up, but then taxes happened and took a giant chunk of it.
Giant.
Like I'm talking like a third of it. Like where I was like, wow, we just completely moved down a bracket of homes that we can now look for.
She cried many tears.
Yeah, it was because I got this huge payment from a deal that they breached the agreement on. So like it was like a huge, massive payment.
So it was a
and I was like,
windfall,
oh,
yeah.
sweet. And I put it all into the bank and then like added that to our savings for the down payment. And I was like, we have enough to put this much down on a house. And then taxes came and they're like, yeah, we're going to take like 50% of everything you made last year. And I'm like,
beautiful.
okay, cool.
Joy.
Well, that's good.
So that set us back a couple of months.
Yeah. Well, it set us back a couple months mostly because now all of my search criteria had to change to either settling on the rooms or settling on the location or settling on like the size of the house that we were looking at.
And we both needed to have an office, and we both wanted to have like a good size just for us to live
So
in.
you're
Yeah,
not
well,
like
we-
on top of each other,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, so we both work
24/7.
from home, so it's hard to like live in a 2-bedroom, even though there's just 2 of us living there. And yeah, we definitely needed at least 3 bedrooms so that both of us could have an office. Otherwise, you just can't think creatively when someone's like right on top of you. I also just get really sick of him, and it's like really good to
Fair.
like be away.
Valid.
I mean, I do it, and
I get sick
we're
of
just like
myself.
friends.
Yeah,
just,
exactly.
like,
It's
we just
very
text each
easy to
other.
get sick of him.
Yeah.
So then we got pre-approved on a loan, and I actually well, I actually found out that you had to get pre-approved. And then I was like, how do I do that? Because it's like, oh, you have to get pre-approved. Well, how? Like, nobody tells you how to do any of these things. So we actually, at an open house, there was a real estate agent, and he's like, do you guys have an agent? And we're like, no. He's like, oh, I could be your agent. I do like all these houses around this area. And I actually looked him up, and he was pretty good.
Finally,
I was like,
someone
this is a
with
scam. It's gotta be
information.
Yeah.
I was like, I know this is a scam.
And I really liked him. And yeah, we got along really well. And he was just on game with everything. And he referred us to his loan person. And that guy was really great. He works with a lot of entertainers, a lot of 1099 contractors, which is usually the hardest part about getting pre-approved if you're like a 1099. It was like the end of 2017.
Yeah.
So he's like, don't do your 2017 taxes yet until you find a house, because we're going to pre-approve you on 2016 taxes. And if you find one in the next couple months, then we're going to have to do the approval process all over again. So we filed an extension on our taxes, another thing that I wouldn't have known to do. And then we were looking for freaking forever. And there was always either something wrong, like Steve didn't like it, or I didn't like it, or like someone put down an offer for way more money than what it was, which they always put down way more than what's listed.
But almost every time we both didn't like something.
Yeah,
Like,
there was
almost
something
every
that was
time.
like off. It wasn't ever like, that's the one.
There was maybe two that she liked or that I liked.
Yeah.
Total. Where it was like, I like this one, but she doesn't, or she likes it, I don't.
And this was after like 2 years of searching. There was
How
only
many do you
like,
think you saw in that amount of time?
And the time
How many
frame?
time did you? How much?
at
how many
least
whole
like
time?
50.
Yeah, at least.
Like
That's a lot.
places.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at least.
And because
Oh,
it
yeah.
was like every weekend we would see like at least at least 3 a day. So like that's Saturday and Sunday. And then sometimes our agent would call us in the middle of the week like, hey, I got this place that we can look at before the open house and stuff. And so we would go during the week, and it was just like, it was a lot of time that I did not expect. I thought at first it was like a really cute thing. It was like, we'll go look at open houses and then like,
Yep.
you know, think
And
about
then
what
it like
kind
becomes
you like.
dominating your weekend.
Yeah,
you're
it's like,
dominating.
now we
Yeah.
gotta park at this place.
And it was like we were canceling like birthday parties because we're like, so we can't make it. We're like, we already said we'd look at this place. It might be the one.
And then when you find the one, it doesn't necessarily become yours.
Yeah.
So you're
Yeah.
like, really?
that's another thing.
That's like heartbreak when they
It's
yank
the
it out from
worst.
under
We
you.
were so scared about that happening. I actually just gave up. So it got to a point after seeing all of those places. This was over holiday, like, so it was Christmas, New Year's time. It was all the way through all of the holidays. So like November through end of December. I thought we found this house that I really, really, really liked. It was in a really good neighborhood, good HOA, like everything was great. It had a pool. It was 3 bedrooms. It was 1,600 square feet. It was in the price range that we wanted. We
You
could
see
even
Universal from the balcony.
you could see the fireworks show.
See that Harry Potter world, baby.
And we were able to, like, our agent was like, you can negotiate down even lower because this has been on the market for so long that, like, she'll probably take a lower price. So I was so ready to do it. And then, like, she delisted the house.
Oh.
Yeah. And then it was kind of like that situation, but not someone else getting it. But there was something that was off about that one.
It was off.
It was kind of like we were settling.
like it.
But I was still, like, at that point, like, that was my last chance. And I just thought, like, I'm done looking.
And we thought we'd have to get pre-approved again because a certain
'Cause
time
the
goes by and
new
then you
year
have to
and-
renew it.
Yeah, and then it was just like, okay, if we're not moving, we'll just decorate our old apartment better. And that was a bummer. It was really depressing, actually. I went through like kind of a depression period of like having to accept that we weren't going to buy a house. And then randomly, the video that we did, Condo Hunters, the first one was a sponsored video. They wanted to do a follow-up one to see where we were at in the home buying process. So we kind of had to go look at some open houses again. And I was so just like pessimistic about it. I'm like, what's the point? We're not going to buy one. And that
She was really fun during this period.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah.
and I was able to get, I found this one listing and I called my agent and to see if we could go see it because there was an open house coming up, but I wanted to be able to film for the video. And he was like, okay, I can get you a seeing, what's it called? A showing before the open house. So we're like, oh, sweet. So we go in there. It's perfect. It's like everything that we want. 3 bedroom, 2 stories. It's got a little backyard area. I needed an outdoor area. It has 3 bathrooms and it has like a bonus room and it's like 1,620 square feet for the price that we were looking at. And so we're like, we both of us right away were
Yeah,
like,
we were
this
all
is
over
it. Like that moment of like, this is the one. House. Yeah. And so we put an offer in that day, and the guy said that he had already received another offer, but they were only putting 10% down, and said basically if you offer $10,000 more, he'll accept. And so we did, because it was.
So it never even went to market.
Yeah.
We sniped it.
And it was still under our budget. Like, it wasn't even at the top of our budget.
But they had terrible taste in paint.
Oh, we did have to do a lot of repainting.
Oh.
But you could see past that. That makes you guys like, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty turnkey too. Like the brand new wood floors, and like I liked the contrasting. The wood that they picked was a really like nice dark wood, and it looked good with everything else.
But the walls were like this yellow.
Yeah, they had like this
room.
pea green, yellowish puke color in the living room. But in our video, that's another thing. When we made the offer, you know how a lot of people write letters to like stand out. So that's a thing. Well, our real estate agent was like, okay, trust me guys, this works pretty much every time. We're gonna make a video. Everyone else is doing letters. You guys, I'm just gonna take a video with my phone. I'll send it in with the offer, and that is what ended up pushing them over the edge, because we were like, hey, we work from home and we're newlyweds, and like we love what you did with the place, and it looks so great. And
so you lied about the paint color.
We did. We said we wouldn't change a thing. And I was like,
we wouldn't change a thing, but we
throwing up in your mouth.
A change.
I was like, I'd change a lot of things actually. I wouldn't change the layout of the floor plan. You know what I mean? Like, I had to just.
Yeah,
I'd leave the walls where they are, because
right.
You actually like the kitchen looked dope.
I love the kitchen.
Like, which was in every other place we looked at, we would have to do a full remodel of the kitchen. But this one was like granite countertops. It was pretty nice.
Who does the cooking?
I mean, I don't
He
cook. I
tries
sort of
to.
heat things up, but well.
Well done.
Yeah,
Very
he uses
well.
the microwave really well.
I do a hell of a job at it. Yeah.
That's
But
great.
speaking
Come over for dinner.
of that, in the kitchen where the stove and like the microwave are, that whole wall, it goes out, like it shorts every day.
It does.
So
It
we have
shorts.
to reset it every single day, and to like change all the, what's it called, GFCI outlets.
We have to just reset those guys.
We don't even
if
want to
you
know
wanna
how
use
much
the
that
oven.
costs. So we just
I know a guy.
reset it every day.
You know a
I was
guy?
gonna say, make
know a guy.
this dude do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know a guy. I know a guy who can sort that out for you.
I would
Tight.
love that.
That would be tight, because
Yeah.
that's a pain.
Yeah, so we literally, everyone thinks we're just too lazy to reset the time on our stove, because it's always
Yeah.
blinking, but it
In
just
videos?
resets every day.
Make
Well, it's
it
one of
your
those
own.
things like you have too much on one circuit. That's all that is.
Yes, exactly.
You've been in there for about a year now.
Yeah.
What types of stuff have come up during that time that you didn't expect, or like what additional
So,
costs and stuff?
Definitely the nest and the vent. That was like a big one that I was like, I didn't even know that could happen. The garbage disposal, the wall. Right now our heater is
Heater
broken,
just
which
broke.
we didn't even think that we needed a heater, because it's LA
in
and
the
it's
valley,
always
too.
really hot. So I was like,
it's
okay, this year's been
This year's
really
been
weird.
nuts, yeah.
Yeah, it's
just
been
really weird.
I was like, dude,
Really
it's
cold.
45 degrees inside right now.
It was really odd. So our heater was working great, and then one day it just went out.
Tuckered out.
And so we got a guy that fixed our AC last year.
It died of a broken heart.
Yeah.
did, yeah, I
Its
think
friend,
so.
the
He
garbage
Never
disposal.
used me anyway, and then you're just gonna leave in a day. And apparently it costs $720 to fix. So we're like, well, don't need a
We're like, we
heater
don't
that
need a
bad.
heater this bad for like, what, 2 weeks of heating? I'm not doing that.
You got to text me. You got to text me these things when these things pop up. You got to ask him what's wrong. I know a guy. You tell me what's wrong right now.
The smart valve.
He'll tell you.
Smart valve,
Okay.
Aaron.
All right. Not that hard, but okay.
Oh,
Not that hard?
He's like, oh, okay. Well, at least you know we
well,
didn't
at
get
least
scammed.
Yeah, we
at
didn't get
least
scammed.
it
Yeah, we
wasn't
didn't
like
get
something
scammed.
stupid.
No, this guy's good. I like this guy. We had him do our AC during the summertime, and he's dope. He's this like Russian guy who just climbs up. He like basically scales the wall. He doesn't even use the ladder. He, like climbs himself up the wall.
You got
and goes
Russian
on the roof.
Spider-Man
Yeah,
working
he's
on your heater?
amazing, dude. He's incredible.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, that's another thing. You got to make friends with some contractor people
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I didn't realize, because I thought, okay, yeah, we have to pay for a plumber or pay for an electrician or whatever. But okay, that's easy. Like, we'll just go on Yelp and hire one. They do not call you back.
No.
You're on
No.
their time, and they know it. And they
And they
know
hate
that
you.
they know you need them more than they need you.
I've said that to Aaron. I'm like, do people not want to work? Like trying to find someone to paint our last house. It took like weeks.
Yeah.
We're like,
Well-
aren't freelance people really needing work like
If
right
they're
now?
good
that's
and
what
they
we
have a lot of
talked. I mean,
good-
and I
yeah.
told you why. I mean, what happens is like there's a serious shortage.
Yeah.
Like people do not want to do this type of work. People our age and younger. do not want to do it because there's no glory in it. But the work is still there. The demand is still there. So these people, and it pays great, but the skills gap exists. It's a very real thing. And people don't want to do it. So the shortage is there. So they can basically work whenever they want, how they want. They're overloaded. They don't have enough help. And so stuff falls through the cracks. They can't keep up. And it just is what it is. And
we called 17 plumbers.
I believe it.
And only one got back.
I think a lot of it too is when they're on the job, they don't pick up their phone. They don't have someone in an office, you know, fielding those calls, and then it just.
I mean, only big companies like that have like a 24-hour maintenance thing, and those are the ones you hear on the radio, that type of stuff.
Gosh,
but
I wish.
The average guy is just a guy, and he can only do so much in a day, and he's like, I'm not going to sit there and go on my voicemail. I've already got these word of mouth clients. I just can go from here to here.
It's so true.
But plus, this cat, our AC went down Memorial Day, and he was there in 25 minutes.
Yeah.
And he fixed it in 35 minutes.
See, and you remember him.
Legend.
See, that's a good guy.
Good business.
So my dude Oleg, dude, he's my dude.
Yeah. So
I always feed the people that work at our house. I always sweet. Offer lunch, and I always bottles of water.
That's
if we have
so
donuts.
nice.
That's so
They
cool.
come back.
Yeah,
They're
bet.
And you might go through a few
with the donuts.
You might go through a few you'll find some people that you don't like, that you're like, I'm not bringing that guy again. If you go through like a home warranty thing or something.
Oh, we tried that. Yeah, that's awful.
They're awful.
What a waste of money. It's like $75 to have him come out, and then he just
diagnose the problem.
Yeah, to diagnose it, and then he had to come out again to fix it, and it was for our recessed lighting. We couldn't get the lights to work, and it was just dumb. We just weren't used to recessed lighting. He just pushed the bulb in farther.
And then he laughed at me for 10 minutes, but I deserved it. Because you have to push them in and twist them? I didn't know that.
No, you don't twist them.
Yeah, you do.
No, you don't.
You slightly twist. It's like a little
you have
twist.
to wait for it to click. He still has not successfully done it. I learned how to do it, but you have to listen for a click.
The click is how you get for them twisting.
No, you don't twist it. But good try. Also, our hot water doesn't work in the master bedroom. So that's in the master bathroom. So that's that's a fun thing. And
doesn't work at all?
No,
There's
it gets to lukewarm. So we finally got a plumber because I was like, I'm fixing this. And he comes out and he's like, yeah, we have to change the whole valve in there. Yeah. And see, and then he's like, it's a special part for this particular type of shower that you have. So I have to order it. It's special order it.
Baloney.
Well, he's never called me back. He's like, I'll call you when it's in. That was 6 months ago.
So why do that? Other than to just collect a fee, I guess, and leave. Why would he miss?
He charged you for his assessment?
Well, no, that's the guy that fixed the garbage disposal. So I was like, hey, while you're here, by the way, can you check this also? And then he's like, yeah, that's a special part. He's like, I called them. They're going to order it and see if they have it or whatever. I'll call you back. And then
why not just change the whole faucet? I mean, you could change the whole diverter valve out and the whole faucet.
That's what I said.
That's what I was saying.
I was saying that same thing. I was like, just a diverter. Why can't you diverter it?
You just got to do it.
Maybe he's probably not wrong. You probably do for that specific fixture. But are you married to that specific fixture? Do you love it? You love it?
No.
Okay.
No, he's kidding.
Yeah. But you know what I'm saying?
That's my bathroom, by the way. We have our own bathrooms because
Yeah.
we can't deal. We one time had to share a bathroom in our first apartment, and it was a nightmare.
What's the issues? What are the issues?
Everything. He takes a way too long shower and locks the door the entire time, and then I can't pee, and then I need to do my hair, and I can't.
I'm a thinking man, and my shower is my sanctuary.
And he does I don't know what he does in there.
I don't shave in the shower.
No,
Who shaves in the shower?
He showers for 40 minutes, and then he shaves.
Then I shave.
He wants his pores to be open.
Yeah,
he
I do mainly things in there,
which
man.
is fine if there are two bathrooms and you don't have a wife trying to get ready.
Yeah.
So always separate bathrooms. We've had very little fights since we've.
It's true. And it keeps it interesting too because there's mystery in our relationship because we don't share bathrooms.
There you go. I don't know what's going on in there.
He never puts the cap on a toothpaste tube. He's one of those.
Oh.
Doesn't put.
I'm a legend.
Yeah. One of those guys.
Well, I got a buddy who pees between his lady's legs while she's peeing, and I'm like,
I'm not married to that guy.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a
level that I'm never going to.
You hang out with that person on a regular basis?
Yeah.
I do.
I'm starting to
I keep
reevaluate.
it at arm's length, though.
Starting to reevaluate what we got going on.
I hear you.
Oh, man.
I don't want to be by that proxy. You know what I mean?
I know. I feel you.
He's an odd one.
Yeah, and then the
That's
other thing
funny.
is just the length of time of how long projects take. I was like, okay, I hate this yellow color in the living room. I'm going to paint it. It'll probably take, I don't know, 5 hours or whatever. And it took 3 days.
When we left New York, because in New York, we were in 5 different apartments within a however long range. I was like, I am never painting again my entire life, and I'm sticking to that.
That's a good rule.
It's the worst.
That's a great rule.
It's not the worst.
My husband's really good at it. He like used to paint for a living.
It's not the worst. But it's not great.
For me, it's terrible when you're with somebody who is as anal as my wife is. Where
that's not terrible. We have a great paint job now.
I tape off.
True.
That's my job, and I love it, and I'm good at it.
So this is what this guy did. This is why he got banned from painting. He just goes like, okay, I'm like, okay, we got to lay the floor, the like plastic down and stuff, and he just starts going in with the big thing. Doesn't line the top by the ceiling. What's that called? Like, you want
tape it off.
Cut
it in. Doesn't cut it in.
Yeah, cutting. Oh. He doesn't do the cutting. He didn't watch any videos on
how to paint.
What does
that even mean?
Yeah.
He's like taking a brush.
What the hell does that even mean?
He's just jamming it into the ceiling.
He's just jamming it into the ceiling. Yes.
You know what? And my grandfather would have done the same thing.
Oh, I imagine you painting in that
while.
same powdered wig that you wore to the
my judge outfit.
He's just so
stubborn,
like confidently wrong all the time. And so I'm like, at least I did like a week of watching videos on how to paint before attempting how to paint.
Yeah.
He was just like, nah, wing it, and then just went with
Learn
a
by doing,
freaking brush.
Trial by fire.
And I was like,
They
you're fired. I was
they
like,
call me
you're
the
out.
Miracle Man for a reason.
I was like, I don't even want you in this place. We had a 2-week overlap of our apartment and moving into the house. So I was like, you stay at the apartment. I'm going to paint this place. You stay at the apartment.
You know, I think you learn a lot about your spouse during this process.
You do.
During the home buying process, we looked for so long that at one point we were just so over it that we were like, we're taking a break.
Yeah.
Like 2 months, we're not talking about it. We're not looking. And actually, we found our place very similar. It was like a fate thing, like yours.
See?
I was
like
pushing
dating.
the stroller. Yeah,
it's like when you're like, I'm not dating anymore. Both of us did that, and that's when we started dating.
Yeah,
It's true.
But it's stressful. It's stressful.
Yeah. That's why I do this brand, because the type of work that you have to do as a homeowner can suck. But you should know how to do it, because otherwise you're going to be raked through the coals, because people are going to take advantage of you. You don't know if you're going to get a good contractor or not, and it's going to cost you a lot of money every time.
Yeah.
That's why I do this whole brand, you know, like,
You know what's so cool though? Let's talk about a cool thing about owning a home that blew my mind was that like when I realized that I could do anything to it.
You can,
it's
like
yours.
if I want to
reason.
change, within reason. But like if I want to, add a built-in wall unit, like I can do that. If I want to like change the doors to be all like barn doors, I can do it. If I wanted to like, even like the faucets and stuff, I never even thought about that you could change the faucets, like the hardware or any of that.
Cool.
Because when you rent your entire life, you're like just so used to not being able to change anything. Like it didn't even cross my mind that I could change the doorknobs or I could change the like any like.
I'm like, we could build a Pizza Hut in here.
You could.
And we could.
You could have a brick fired oven, like whatever you want.
Yep.
You see something like at the store or on TV, you're like, I'm gonna buy that, put it in. I'm doing it.
Exactly.
Do you guys have an
adult
outdoor
rules.
space?
We do, yeah.
What do you guys do out in the yard?
So I put down AstroTurf because it's this little patio. So yeah, I put down some AstroTurf to make it look more like a backyard area and like just I don't know, that's that cute LA thing that like people were doing that to their balconies to make it look
like the little
just,
IKEA
like,
tiles that you can buy.
Exactly. And so I did that, and then I put like these outdoor sofas and like the little lights, the string lighting and stuff, and it looked just super cute. I wanted it to look like when you go to one of those events and they have this like VIP section.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, I want to sit over there, but you can't. And there's like an open bar over there and stuff. I put a bar outside, like with alcohol and like
Super
drinks and
executive,
stuff.
yeah,
And so
super
when we
executive.
have people over, we
Do you
just
put
like
a
make
rope up
drinks
so
up
people
there.
can't go? Like,
Yeah.
That's next.
You invite people over, you're like, no, can't go out
No,
there.
it's
Not
That's
you.
VIP section.
Do you have a wristband?
Exactly.
Yeah. Did you get a wristband at the door? Oh.
Yeah, I put plants out there, and it's like a little backyard, and we just chill. We haven't gone to chill lately because it's been raining like crazy. But
It sounds like you guys have done a lot in a year.
yeah, I've done a lot.
We have. I have.
Yeah, what have you done,
was
actually?
Lifting many things.
That was moving day. He's just talking about moving day.
Usually she shows up and she calls me and she's like, "Hey, come to my car. You have to help me unload all this shit." And then I have to unload many plants.
That sounds
Somebody's got to
accurate.
do the heavy lifting, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right. And I call them surprise plants because I never expect them and they're always there.
Surprise.
But he loves living there.
I do like living there. She's done an amazing
constantly,
job.
like-
It's strengths and weaknesses. We're both big on strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah, that's true.
What she's good at, what I'm good at. I'm good at lifting stuff up. She's good at planning stuff out.
Who does the cleaning?
We kind
I
of split
do.
it. Not, you know.
I do all of it.
Oh, did you just vacuum the entire upstairs and clean our bedroom and office area up there? Did you just scrub out all the toilets? I'm sorry.
Uh-oh.
Wait,
Hang on.
who cleans? Steve is
I do
very
a lot of dishes.
specific. specific jobs that he can
But he
I
does
do
them well, I'm
laundry.
sure.
lifts things
I
and
take care of
does
messes.
laundry.
When the kitties throw up, I usually take care of
So
that.
do I.
Is that a daily occurrence?
Yeah.
They do. They
Yeah,
throw up
pretty
quite a
much.
bit.
That's why I don't have
He
kids.
probably shouldn't.
It's a good call.
You guys have the same decorating taste?
He doesn't really have one, so I kind of just assign it.
So yes.
Yeah, exactly. He tells me what he likes. So he just recently started talking about wanting to decorate his office, which was like the first time that I've actually heard him express interest in like decorating his office.
How do you want your office to look?
I would like it for it to look like it's a whiskey bar.
Yeah.
in there.
Okay.
Oh, we
I
can
want
make that happen.
You know what I'm saying? I want a metal airplane on a shelf for some reason. Not an airplane
said a
like,
globe?
You
not
want
like
a leather
model one.
You want a leather cigar chair.
I do. I want a leather cigar chair
yeah,
made out
see,
of
I
like
know.
plane rivets or whatever the
Maroons and wood and leather and like
he wants a
moody.
Yes.
globe
Leather-bound
that
books.
Yes.
opens.
leather brown books. I want it to smell like a freaking leather boot in there, dude. I want a humidor. I don't even smoke cigars. I want a freaking humidor.
I can make you one.
And I want a cigar rack. And I don't even smoke cigars.
So-
I would like whiskey. I don't drink.
You want a Mad Men
He wants
executive
like a
office.
chic industrial style.
I would like it to look sick as hell.
I know exactly what you're talking
Yeah.
about. We're on the same page.
Thank you.
I
Yeah,
got
yeah.
that.
So he has his office is
It's cool that you can
way
have
in the
that
back.
because
Yes.
you
So
know,
whatever he
finally.
wants to do to it, I'm totally fine because nobody sees it ever.
She is the overseer. And by the way, I gave her this. Like we
gave me this
both
power.
we both agreed that she should decorate everything because I'm very poor at it.
Yes, true.
Because if it was up to me, we'd have like Reservoir Dogs posters all around the house. And
Dude, I love Reservoir
His
Dogs.
laugh is
degenerate,
everything.
dude. I have no class. Okay, I would have IKEA tables, and
That's how it was when I met him.
right.
that's. I mean, that's pretty standard. I feel
Yeah.
like.
I'd have a Klingon bailiff on the wall.
There you go.
Is there a place people can go to see like pictures of your home and what you're doing in it?
Yeah, YouTube.
Many vlogs.
Okay,
We
so
have
you do
many
like your
vlogs.
progress and
I do. I was trying to do like a DIY thing that Aaron was helping out with one of them, and it still might come out, so you should subscribe over there. But I was like redoing one room at a time. So that started with the backyard, and then I redid my office, it has like a wall shelf unit thing that I Pinterest and stuff, and then I was doing this like our closet in our bedroom is like a walk-in closet, and it's this like big thing, and I was like gonna redo it to look like it could be in a magazine, you know?
Yeah.
And so we put a vanity in there, and Aaron did the mirror with the vanity lights,
dope.
and it looks so cool.
It's like a barnwood, like classic
Yeah.
Hollywood vanity mirror, but it's made out of
Nice.
barnwood
It's
and like.
sick.
And then like it has like a runner that's like this furry run. It's really glam in there. Like everything else is not glam in the house.
it's
but
super
that,
extra in there.
Yeah.
Did you put
that
the chandelier?
closet-
You were talking about doing a
I
chandelier.
have the chandelier. I have not installed it yet. So that was going to be like the last steps of the video. And that just never happened because we started doing that video in September or the end of September, early October. And then it was like my birthday and the holidays. And then I went on a million trips. And
Yes.
then we just never came
She
back
went
to
to
it.
Vietnam. She went to.
I went to Mexico. And Costa Rica and New Zealand all in like a span of like 3 months.
It's been nuts.
wow,
And
boring.
we just got back from Florida.
Well, that's high pressure to put your projects out there and have to do like the reveal at the end.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't I know it?
Yeah, same. I just like started sharing my whole kitchen renovation, and it's actually been over since Thursday, but it's been such a process. I
Yeah.
don't even have the mental strength to post the after.
Yeah.
I'm just not ready to put
And
it.
it's well, because like normally you kind of like build it, like if you're going to redo something, you like kind of do it like a little bit at a time and like you take your time with it and you feel all cute about it. But when you're doing it for a video, it's like, oh, I got to do everything all at once. And like, cause it has to be like a great after, it has to be dramatic after. And it's like, oh, that's really expensive to like get all of those things all at once, and then what if it doesn't work out the way you pictured exactly?
Right.
Because sometimes when you're
You
going
wanna
piece
rush
by
it.
piece, you're like, oh, actually, I changed my mind about this part. I want to do it like this. But you already bought all the stuff.
Here's what you do: leave all those tags on. You buy all that stuff from like Target or wherever you're going to do it. You stage it and then you return everything.
Would you like to hear my $1 billion idea that I think you can do? Because I am
$1 billion?
not physically capable of pulling this off.
Yeah.
Okay, so have you ever been to IKEA before? Of course you have. Yeah. So when you're walking around IKEA, what's the big scam about IKEA? Is that you can't
You got to walk
actually-
through the whole thing.
Well, yeah, but you can't actually make your room look like IKEA because those are all wall modules and it's all built in. It's all built-ins. So what you do, Aaron, is You do pre-designed walls, bro. And people hang them up like pictures and it goes over your whole wall. So you put a bunch of nails up and then you freaking hang up the wall.
Okay.
Would that not be so sick?
It'd be hard, but okay. But then you'd lose all that square footage in your of.
Well, I mean,
wall.
you'd look like a little, maybe it's like a foot long or something.
Like a template for the
like if
the
you had
IKEA
built-ins
stuff?
into the wall, you would be like out like this.
No. You put a wall on
he's
top
talking
of
like
a wall.
Like
it's
so
a
the
picture.
wall, like
I hear you.
Yeah.
Like, okay, for example, this wall right here.
Yes.
Imagine you could just take the whole wall, have a bunch of mover people come over, and you put it on your wall.
They know what you're saying.
That's called a set. That's called a set wall.
Yeah, he wants a set wall.
We're right, but
You want to
but
live in a
You want a pre-
imagine behind this wall is just a white wall.
yeah.
You know?
So, I
you
mean-
can buy this. I think people would love it. I'm gonna pitch it to Shark Tank really soon. I actually have a meeting.
All right. Well, okay.
Amazing.
He had a similar idea when we were doing our wedding because wedding planning is also a nightmare, which I didn't realize.
yeah.
Whereas like if you could go into like a Costco type building and every aisle is like a different type of wedding and you just go, oh, that wedding.
Party
What if-
City,
what if
but
we-
for weddings.
Right.
So now we're talking. This is nothing to do with the podcast. We'll probably cut this part out.
We shouldn't.
But we should just make a warehouse where there's all these different wedding venues, and
Yeah.
you just go in and you could just be like, "This is the wedding I'm doing."
Yep.
And it's like
That's
Vegas,
exactly
but individual.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that what you're talking about?
I love that.
Yes, but the venues aren't actually in the warehouse.
No,
Right?
the venues are
They're
in the warehouse. They're already set up, so you just walk in and like boom.
I was thinking
dope.
like
Oh, and
they have
everything's
deals
there.
with those venues, and so it's
But
like
it's like
I want
one
this
warehouse.
wedding.
I'm loving this.
Staged in, you want an Aquaman underwater wedding? We got that room over there.
I do.
You want this kind of wedding? It's right over here.
That's really good. My biggest complaint about Home Depot is that it has no imagination. I walk around it and I get overwhelmed by all the different, like it's all so different. But what I like about IKEA is that they put it together for you. So I wish that Home Depot and IKEA could figure
do that
something
in the
out. Do a
bathroom
You
collab.
like the
section.
showroom aspect. That was
true.
the most overwhelming thing with our kitchen is you go to pick the countertops and they show you a sample this
Yeah.
big. Well,
Well, that's where I think this is actually a serious thing that I think is going to happen. I think it is happening to a degree. They have augmented reality apps on your phones and
yeah.
stuff. So you can actually visualize
We did that with our
furniture
floors.
pieces and stuff in your home by like just looking at your
Yeah.
phone. And
Wayfair
like
does
picking
that.
Yeah, our
So I
floors
think
too,
you
you
will
took a
start to
picture.
see a lot more of that type of technology. You walk
That's
around your
cool.
house and with an iPad, you're like, I don't like that couch. I don't like that couch. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, that's the couch. That's
Yeah,
kind of cool.
it's not perfected yet because like it's hard to angle them towards your.
But I think it'll
But yeah,
get, I mean, it's
it'll
going to
get
get there.
there. Yeah.
It's going to eventually be like, oh, I'm not even going to buy this real couch. I'm just going to walk around with my iPad and look at it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right.
It
Yeah.
will get there.
Yeah. Now that you're in it, obviously we've talked about some of the drawbacks, but you love being able to change things. What else do you love?
Yeah.
I love the value. I love
love that,
knowing that
yeah.
the money's not going to
Exactly
a
what I
renter
was gonna
person.
say.
It's going to us in the
Well,
future.
I mean, the first year's pretty much all gone to interest.
So it's going to the banks mostly, but it's also going to us later.
Some of it is going to us.
So I like that.
It's
a
an
lot.
investment in your future.
Yeah.
It's like a
Yes.
little bit of a retirement type thing.
What else do we love about owning? I just love that. I love being able, I feel like it's awakened my imagination at like all the things that I could do. Whereas you're so limited in an apartment where you're like, well, I can redo the pictures, I guess. Like I can't really do much else.
Our good
Whereas,
friend Jess Lozama just went through this where they rent. And so, but they've lived there for so long that she wanted to change it up.
Yeah, I've been watching her stuff.
Yeah. And all she can really do is just like
Change out the furniture, dress it
decor
up.
and
Yeah.
stuff. But she
Yeah.
did an amazing job.
Yeah.
But there is a
there's a
frustrating
limitation.
limitation
There's
that we went through
a
too.
ceiling there.
We could
yeah.
relate.
Is that what really drove you to like,
Yeah,
was that one of the
honestly.
driving factors of getting out of the apartment? Or
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that
it
rental?
really is. I don't know if it's because of nesting or whatever, because like that, biologically, I'm like, I need to make my home a home and stuff. And I was just getting really depressed, not being able to like really transform our living space into a home. And then living in like a place that we own, it totally like changed my whole energy, my whole mood. Like I'm
You're
just so much
grounded.
happier.
Like you feel settled.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah, I feel like there's an ownership, I mean, like literally legally, but also like mentally, there's like, oh, this is mine. Like and I'm creating and I'm like making it like this. And this
we
wasn't here
earned
before.
this. We worked for
Yeah.
this. Like that's pretty amazing. Like every once in a while, Josh and I will be in our like house and kind of looking around and we're like, we did this, dude. Like
Yeah.
we worked our butts off and like this is ours.
It's
like,
great.
It's such a good feeling.
It
You ever
really
look around
is.
your home and go, this isn't enough and I want more?
Sometimes.
That's all I do. That's all I do.
Shut up.
That's all I do. It's true.
No, you don't.
You want that Las Vegas penthouse, man.
No.
I want to get
Live
Luxor.
like a sultan, Aaron.
If you
Massey.
didn't even know about those places, then you wouldn't want more.
I want a movie theater in my home.
You can make a movie theater in your home.
Guys,
Which room? I'm thinking bigger.
That's what it's all about, man.
Yeah,
You
that's what
just-
it's
you
all
do
about.
you. You
Yep.
just have that drive.
Maybe
You
make
keep
your
pushing.
wallet bigger, and then we can
Working on it.
do that.
Selling movies, baby. Selling movies. Making moves. That's what I do.
He said to talk about things you like about the house.
I know,
He
but,
did.
but I'm
He
also.
said, "I wish I had more." That's what he
no, I'm
said.
saying, do you ever look around and wish you had more and think about?
Well, what do
having
you
more?
like about it?
I like this.
I like that it's a starting point, is what he's
Exactly.
saying. It's a starting point.
Well, no,
I feel,
first of all,
I feel
I love it.
accomplished.
Nikki
You
made,
trans-
me,
Translation.
Potential.
Nikki made me love it because she decorated it so well that it's really cool inside. Right? Like I like that. I love the high ceilings. Like that's my shit because I'm a big dude.
So what would you tell people that are just starting out on their journey to get their first place?
I would say there's always something you're gonna settle on. Always. Like you're not like I would say make a list
Steve's
of
right
all of your
there.
dream
I mean, you don't
things.
have to
Like
say it like
your
that.
That's for sure.
dream. There's always something you're gonna
I settled too.
on
settled
what?
too.
What did you settle on?
Nothing.
Yeah, so make a list of everything that you want and then just highlight like your can't live withouts, you know, the ones that like you need to have. And he'll have some and I'll have some. And as long as those things are all included in the house at the budget that we have, then that should be fine, you know? I think we lucked out because like we hit most of the things on our list. The only thing that we didn't hit was that it's a condo instead of a house. Like that's pretty much the only one.
pretty much.
Everything else that got checked off. Whereas like all the places that we looked at, out of all the 50, there was always something off the list.
Or HOA fees that were just nuts. It's like
Nuts,
$600.
yeah.
I'm like, what the hell? There's no
pool or anything.
Nothing to justify it. Just planters.
Yeah, we really needed the 3 bedrooms, really needed at least 2 bathrooms, and then the outdoor space. Those were like the main 3 that I really wanted, and in an area that wasn't like dangerous.
And it also sounds like things got easier when you found someone you trusted to kind of
Yeah.
help
Yeah.
you. And
Our guy Raph is cool,
Yeah.
man. He's like a buddy
Raphael
now.
Gavorkian,
Yeah.
check him out. If you're in the Valley, he's
dope.
great. He's amazing.
yeah, we've had real estate agents on, and we talk
Couple,
about
yeah.
like they really become a part of your family because
Yeah.
they are there for one of your biggest life events, and they help you through it.
He
We'll
just
do
sent
it
us a
next time, too.
He just sent us a Starbucks gift card because he's like, hey,
Plus,
Thinking of you.
yeah.
That's cool. So find somebody that you know, help you could coach you through the process a little
Yeah.
bit. Like find an agent, find a lender, whatever.
Yeah.
And
Find an
be
expert.
willing to compromise a little bit on what you want, right? Two
Exactly.
takeaways.
Like
And then-
know that you're gonna. It's just like planning a wedding where you're like, oh, like there's something that's gonna go wrong. I don't know what it's gonna be. It could be like the cake. It could be anything. But no one will notice except for you. And that's kind of how the house is.
Well, thank you guys.
Yeah. Thank you, Aaron.
Thank you, Aaron.
You're welcome. Where can people find you guys when they want to watch all your funny, hilarious stuff?
They should check out our podcast. It's called The That They Don't Tell You
It's
podcast.
it's not called the They Don't Tell You. It's called They Don't Tell You podcast.
That's what it's called. And you should go check it out. It's on everything. You can get it on iTunes. You can get it on Androids. You can get it on Castbox.
Yes. Spotify.
Please subscribe to it.
Rate it.
Rate
all
it.
that stuff. You can also find us on YouTube, youtube.com/nikkilimo. You could find Steve's channel, but he doesn't really post on it. And we're both on my channel. So.
I got what some people say massively demonetized. I view it as a setback.
Temporary hurdle.
Yeah, a little hurdle, but we're gonna get over it. We'll be fine.
I think that they should come over and build something with us.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, we should
Yeah.
make something. We'll make something for your place.
Yeah.
Or something.
Love it.
Yeah.
Well, after you guys are done listening to their podcast, make sure you subscribe to our podcast. You can find us on howtohome.com. Obviously, you're listening to it right now. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of our future episodes. Thank you to Filter By for making this episode in this series possible. We can't thank them enough, and they're a great partner of ours. So make sure you guys visit filterby.com, sign up for their service. You guys too. 'cause-
I wish we
will.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
I wish
there's still
we
time.
did.
There's still time. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.